This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we're going to talk about buying a caravan. If you ever hear me mention it, I've definitely mentioned it in previous podcasts of like, and then you buy a caravan. And I had a session with one of my clients today, and we're, talking about some things that they're paying attention to and working on. And one of the biggest things I spoke about is that often we may not realize that if we're depressed about something or really sad about something, some people aren't depressed, some people are just really sad and they just label it depression. People might not like to hear that, but it's the reality, is that, I understand depression is a real thing and we can get triggered by hearing things like that, but we need to understand is like, do I actually have depression? Do I actually have a, medical condition of anxiety? Or am I just really sad and am I not, being taught how to deal well with my thoughts? There's different ways to view it, and neither is wrong nor right. And I definitely wouldn't say, and I don't say, not to take any form of medication at all. That's definitely not what I'm saying, ever. And I was talking to him about, because he will get quite anxious about things, not in a debilitating way, more so in a way that I think he has actually developed that as a motivation strategy to get things done. However, the issue is that even if we try to build it as a motivation strategy and we get anxious about things that may happen in the future, because we can't get anxious about the past, just to clarify, and we can't get sad about the future. This is kind of interesting. People go, I can get sad about the future. It's like, sort of. It's not really the future because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so usually we're even just grabbing the past, projecting it into the future, and then getting sad about that. The interesting thing about sadness is that if we're really good at being pessimistic about the world, which is where depression will lead into on some degree, I'm simplifying it, I know, but bear with me. If we're really good at creating a pessimistic situation, what we're also really good at is creating an optimistic situation, because we have to have something to be able to measure it against. So we can only be pessimistic if we're really good at creating an optimistic world that we're creating in our mind, that how it could be, and we're pessimistic about how it is. Think about that for a moment. And like, to clarify, I'm not saying that fucking everyone should take off drugs and then just think of it like that and it's a magic fix. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just trying to delve deeper into the thoughts and how people can perceive things and how they might create things in mind and how they may project things and go from there. And one of the things that, I work on, I work with other people on it, is seeing how often, and you can hear it in people's language, if you actually want to listen to people, you'll hear it in their language, how often they're actually, future referencing or past referencing. And you start to hear how often this person may live in the future or the past, and then you start to see this person's behaviors or their thoughts or their emotions that they might struggle with. And things start to make sense to what they're really paying attention to. And a lot of the time, they're actually not paying attention to reality right now. They're paying attention to a particular scenario in the future, often worst case scenario, if they're getting anxious about it, or, maybe discounting their own ability to deal with the situation, having a pessimistic view. Which, once again, if we're pessimistic, we are really good at optimism. Surprise, surprise. So we have to have something to reference it off, right? So the interesting thing around this is that regardless whether we're thinking about the future or we're creating movies in mind from the past, which are only filtered through our filters anyway, it's not actually a memory of reality. It's a memory of our memory of reality, right? It's not a memory of reality. We can only see it through our lens, and that lens is also, tainted, so to speak, by the ways that we've developed our personality over time. And so our ability to understand this realizes that as long as we think of the future, as long as we think of the past, we're never actually present here, right? Our bodies are, but nothing else is. And what this means for everyone is, how often are we futuring our life away, and then we buy a caravan? So we're making sure that, I got to find a job so that I can make some money, so that I can buy a house, and so that I can do all this sort of stuff. Now, to clarify, it's not like we shouldn't be doing these things or these are bad things. That's not the case at all. It's more so looking at it and going, am I in a job, or am I actually do I have a living? Because when I have a living, it's actually, I can be present with it. When I have a job, I could hate it. It might be something that I'm constantly looking for more different sorts of jobs and positions and work and all that sort of stuff. And next thing, the day just goes by. You know, it's when you speak to someone and how's your day been? It's like, oh, it's gone really fast. It's like, you want your life to go really fast? Fucking think about that. You want your life to go fast, doing shit you don't want. You're not here, buddy. You're not here with me. You don't know what I got going on. Damn right I don't. Neither do you by the sounds of it. Everyone's got shit going on. All different levels. If you're not coming out of a shitstorm, maybe you're going into one. Vice versa. Right? Some people feel the rain and some people get wet. You got to think about that for a moment. And so this whole idea of buying a caravan, what I'm presupposing by that is how often we don't live until we get the caravan. Right? Until we've got arthritis, until we've got all these other things that stop us from living, like truly experiencing. This is why I talk about the gym so much. And I'm like, look, your 1 hour in the gym has to help positively impact your 23 hours outside of it. Otherwise, it's a fucking cost, right? If you're getting anxious about the gym, if you leave the gym thinking you could have done better, you're not living either fucking way. This is what's interesting is that, and I've said this quote before, hopefully this lands for you, is that the future is only available to those that can access the present, right? Because when you get to the future, if you're so busy futuring, you're just going to future more future, and you never get to fucking live your life, right? You're just planning it for your caravan. Hey, no hate on the caravan. I talk about this a fair bit, but you get my point. It's like so many people are just planning away their life in hope that they get the next thing, that they have the house, that they build their life, and they get the kids, and they do that. Meanwhile, you're not living. You're not learning to be present. And present almost gets this woo-woo vibe about it because it's like, you can only do it in California while you're fucking smoking some medicinal marijuana, hanging out at Venice Beach at this weird, yoga camp. No hate to anyone that does exactly that, just to clarify. My point there being is that to be present, every single human being has access to that. What you do is you simply pay attention to something in nature. You pay attention to your breathing. You pay attention to the iris of the person's eye you're talking to without having to think of something smart to fucking say. You're just there with them. These are the moments of beauty that actually make up our life. And this is why I say you're currently living the good old days. Right? You don't have to go to your fucking shit job you hate. You can change that. You don't have to go to the fucking gym you don't like. You can go play tennis. You like tennis? Go play fucking tennis. The reality is that we forget that we can get so easily pulled in so many ways, trying to keep so many other people happy, thinking about what we can do to step on eggshells around them so that we don't hurt them because we don't like conflict. Meanwhile, you're in fucking conflict in yourself, right? You're not responsible for somebody else's conflict. You're not responsible for their emotions. In fact, just assuming you are is taking their power away. It's taking your power away. Right? So, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep just getting anxious about the future? Are you going to keep getting depressed about how things should be? How good they could be? Or you're going to bring back to this moment and realize that this is one life, is all you got. You don't want to just future away your 20s. It doesn't mean you shouldn't save for the future or do shit like that. I'm not saying that. But if you don't learn how to live now, you are not going to watch your fucking kids grow up. You're going to blink. Oh my God, you blink and they're just gone. Yeah, buddy. You did. You blinked. You had your eyes closed. You weren't awake the whole fucking time. Now make sure you got to understand this. Our parents can only teach us what we know. So get this. You can only teach your kids what you know. You want to change the next generation? It's fucking up to us. It's up to how we live our lives. We're the example. Team, I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you found this podcast beneficial, it would mean the world to me if you'd pass it on to someone else or share it on social media and get the message out. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, it would mean the world to me. And hopefully to somebody else. Otherwise, if you haven't already, check out the Coach's Circle, check out Mood Prep Online. You can find one on my website, you can find the other on Facebook. I'm out, team. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza, kick today in the dick, slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unbound.